Hello guys, today in this video we are going to solve mostly asked important MCQs. So without delay, let's begin with our first question. Who wrote the famous novel Frankenstein? Mary Wollstonecraft Shelley is best known for writing Frankenstein or The Modern Prometheus, 1818 revised 1831, a text that is part Gothic novel and part philosophical novel. It is often considered an early example of science fiction. So the right option is number C. Mary Shelley wrote the famous novel Frankenstein. Second question. Which of the following novels is not written by Jane Austen? Friends, out of the followings, Wuthering Heights is the only novel by the English author Emily Bronte, initially published in 1847 under her pen name Alice Bell. So the right option is number C. Wuthering Heights is not written by Jane Austen. The first English poem or heroic poetry of the Anglo-Saxon period was Beowulf is the oldest surviving Germanic epic and the longest Old English poem. It was likely composed between 700 and 750. So the correct option is number A. Beowulf is the first English poem or heroic poetry of the Anglo-Saxon period. Things Fall Apart is a famous novel by Things Fall Apart, first novel by Chinua Achebe, written in English and published in 1958. Things Fall Apart helped create the Nigerian literary renaissance of the 1960s. So the right option is number B. Things Fall Apart is a famous novel by Chinua Achebe. The novel The Catcher in the Rye is a work by The Catcher in the Rye, novel by J.D. Salinger, published in 1951. The novel details 2 days in the life of 16-year-old Holden Caulfield. After he has been expelled from prep school, confused and disillusioned, Holden searches for truth and rails against the phoniness of the adult world. So the right option is number C. The novel The Catcher in the Rye is a work by J.D. Salinger. Which of the following is not a poem by Robert Frost? Friends, out of the following, Ode to a Nightingale is a poem by John Keats, written either in the Garden of the Spaniards in Hampstead, London, or, according to Keats' friends Charles Armitage Brown, under a palm tree in the garden of Keats' house at Wentworth Place, also in Hampstead. So the right option is number B. Ode to a Nightingale is not written by Robert Frost. The Rime of the Ancient Mariner was written by Rime of the Ancient Mariner by Samuel Taylor Coleridge was first published in 1798 and is one of the most famous poems in the English language. As is the Ripped Sea Sand, Rime of the Ancient Mariner tells of the misfortunes of a seaman who shoots an albatross, which spells disaster for his ship and fellow sailors. So the right option is number D. The Rime of the Ancient Mariner was written by Samuel Taylor Coleridge. Which of the following novels is written by George Orwell? Friends, out of the followings, Animal Farm is a satirical allegorical novella in the form of a beast fable by George Orwell, first published in England on 17th August 1945. It tells the story of a group of anthropomorphic farm animals who rebel against their human farmer, hoping to create a society where the animals can be equal, free and happy. So the right option is number B. Animal Farm is written by George Orwell. One of the oldest poems, Beowulf, is written by Friends, it was written in England sometime between the 8th and the early 11th century. The author was an anonymous Anglo-Saxon poet. So the right option is number C. The writer of Beowulf is anonymous. Who wrote the novel Moby Dick? Moby Dick is a novel by Herman Melville, published in London in October 1851 as The Whale and a month later in New York City as Moby Dick or The Whale. It is dedicated to Nathaniel Hawthorne. Moby Dick is generally regarded as Melville's magnum opus and one of the greatest American novels. So the right option is number B. Moby Dick is written by Herman Melville. Which poem is considered the national epic of England? Friends, Beowulf is the Old English epic poem in the traditional of Germanic heroic legend consisting of 3,182 alternative lines. Hence, the right option is number C. Beowulf is considered the national epic of England. The Importance of Being Earnest is a play written by The Importance of Being Earnest, 1895, by Oscar Wilde, is a popular play that is still widely performed in English language theatres and also in many other languages. Here, the right option is number B. The Importance of Being Earnest is a play written by Oscar Wilde. Which of the following is not a work by William Shakespeare? The tragical history of the life and death of Dr. Faustus, commonly referred to simply as Dr. Faustus, is an Elizabethan tragedy by Christopher Marlowe based on German stories about the title character Faust. It was probably written in 1592 or 1593, shortly before Marlowe's death. So the right option is number C. Dr. Faustus is not written by William Shakespeare. Who wrote the famous sonnet, Shall I Compare Thee to a Summer's Day? Sonnet 18, also known as Shall I Compare Thee to a Summer's Day, is one of the best known of the 154 sonnets written by English poet and playwright William Shakespeare. So the right option is number A. Shall I Compare Thee to a Summer's Day is written by William Shakespeare. Which movement is often associated with T.S. Eliot's poetry? T.S. Eliot was an American English poet, playwright, literary critic and editor. He is best known as a leader of the modernist movement in poetry and as the author of such works as The Waste Land 1922 and Four Quartets 1943. Hence, the right option is number A. Modernism movement is often associated with T.S. Eliot's poetry. When was the Battle of Hastings fought? The Battle of Hastings was fought on 14th October 1066 between the Norman-French army of William, the Duke of Normandy, and the English army under the Anglo-Saxon king Harold Godwinson. Hence, the right option is number B. The Battle of Hastings was fought in the year 1066. What is the form of John Milton's Paradise Lost? The whole book is an epic poem, which is a long story told in verse form. The poem is written in blank verse or lines of unrhymed iambic pentameter and is over 10,000 lines long. So the right option is number A. Milton's Paradise Lost is an epic poem. Which novel begins with the line, It is a truth universally acknowledged? The first page of Pride and Prejudice. It is a truth universally acknowledged that a single man in possession of a good fortune must be in want of a wife. So the right option is number B. The line, It is a truth universally acknowledged, is taken from Pride and Prejudice. Which is the author of Paradise Lost? The best well-known work of John Milton, Paradise Lost, a poem in 10 books, was first published in London in 1667. In 1674, a new edition was published with some amendments and was divided into the 12 books we are most familiar with now. So the right option is number C. Paradise Lost is written by John Milton. Last question. The Renaissance period in English literature is also known as the Age of. The Renaissance period in English literature is also known as the Elizabethan era, which lasted from 1558 to 1603. The Elizabethan era is often considered the golden age or Shakespearean age of English history. So the right option is number D. The Renaissance period in English literature is also known as the age of Shakespeare. So guys, we have completed some important MCQs. If you need more this type of videos, then please comment below. Thank you.